Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to flush the coolant of Renault Duster, or you can say the Dacia Duster. Actually I already posted another video where I shown like the procedure to change the coolant. So what's the difference, why I am just creating another video? So usually in like petrol car or most of the cars, I would say, we have a like radiator which is visible over here. We have a like a cap over there. From there we can just fill the coolant. We have a reservoir, like we have a reservoir in this diesel car as well. So it's easy to flush the coolant in those cars and also top up the coolants in those cars also. But in this one, like there is only one way to fill the coolant via reservoir. So in this one we have to just drain out the coolant from the radiator. We have a clamp, we have to open that clamp and we have to just take the hose out and the coolant will be flow out. In the diesel mostly I would say we don't have a radiator, so how to take out the air which is like clogged or stuck in the hose pipes, because we are taking out the coolant, so definitely the air will going to enter. So that will going to be explained, like what's the procedure to take out the air so that the cooling is effective. So what would the ideal period to change the coolant? The ideal period as per for the Duster, it's like a 3 year. So you have to refer your owner's manual, or you can just search on the Google, or you can check with the local mechanic, authorized service center I would say. So they will going to check and let you know what's the ideal period to just flush the or change the coolant in your car. And why we need a coolant? Because coolant is providing a like a property, it will not going to just rust the car parts, the hoses, like I would say the engine lining and the thermostat. It will not going to rust, it will going to protect the rusting of those areas. And for if we talk about the diesel or like the high-end engines, like we have a oil cooler as well installed, where like the coolant flows and it will going to cool down the engine oil. So that's the area which is very like I would say delicate, because if there is a rust in that area, coolant will going to mix with the engine oil and it will going to circulate in whole engine area. So let's start. So I will going to show you the procedure. So if we check in the like beneath the engine, so we don't see the radiator. So what you have to do, you have to like open this steel plate, the protective plate which protects the engine. So we have to open this steel plate. After that the radiator will be visible, it's here, and we have to take out the hose. So first of all let me just take out this plate. We have, so you can see I just take out the plate. So we have couple of screws and nuts which we need to open. So I will going to share the description of the tools which are used to open this plate. So after taking out that plate, the protective plate, we have the radiator, and on the radiator we have this hose, you can see, and also you can see that a clamp. So we have to use a plier to just take out this clamp. It will going to slide backside, and after that we have to take out this hose. Once the hose is out, the coolant will start coming from the radiator. Let's take out this clamp. So you can see after taking out the hose, the coolant has started coming, and you can see the coolant reservoir is empty. So we have to just open this cap so that air enters in and the coolant will going to flush out. So I will going to leave it like this for next 15 or 20 minutes. So there are two valves which we need to like loose, so the remaining coolant also flushes out. So the first location is like here, you can see this one. So this is the first valve which you have to open, and the second one is here. So these are the hose which are going inside the cabin of the car to provide the heat. So the coolant circulates inside the cabin as well, so to provide the heat. So we have to lose this one as well. So you can lose it with hand. Once you lose it, the coolant will start coming. So don't just take it out, just lose it a bit. So you can see I just lose this one. To access that valve, I just disconnect this hose. So using a plier I will going to just lose it up. So you have to just lose a bit, you don't have to take it out. So the coolant is almost out. So now what I will going to do, I will going to connect the hose back, and like after that I will going to fill the RO water, flush the cooling system, radiator and all the hoses. I will use the RO water. And to just refill the coolant, I will going to use the distilled water. I will going to show you the reason why the distilled water is recommended, so just stay tuned. So I have connected the hose. Now I will going to fill the RO water in the coolant reservoir. So keep filling the reservoir. As of now I have not started the car. To just take out the air, I will going to open this valve which I have already shown you. So I have started the car. So once the engine reaches its operational temperature, it will going to start activate the thermostat, and after that the water will going to be start suck in the system. Please keep in mind, we need to keep on just opening the valves which I already shown it to you. So keep on opening them so that the trapped air released out from these valves. So now the water is circulated in the whole cooling system, so we have to wait for the engine to cool down. So once it's cool, after that we have to again open the clamp and flush all the water. So the water is still draining out. So meanwhile I will going to just prepare the coolant. Also, it's not recommended to use the RO water. Make sure it's a distilled water. Let me show you the reason. We have this TDS meter. So I will going to TDS. This is the RO water and this is the distilled water. So in the RO water it's approximately 40, and if we check the RO water you can see it's 0. So it's not recommended to use the RO water. Make sure it's a distilled water. You can get easily from the the battery shop. It cost me, the 5 liter of this water cost me around 50 rupees. To let you know, this coolant cost me 250 rupees per bottle. For preparing the coolant, make sure you use a bucket which is clean. So you can see it's a clean bucket. I already washed it. So the ratio which we are going to use in this coolant is 1:2. So the 1 bottle of coolant and the 2 bottle of distilled water. So I will going to use the same bottle to measure the ratio. Second. So the clamp is connected back after flushing the coolant. Now refill. So once the clamp is connected, we have to refill the coolant. So once you just fill the coolant, just open this the valve which I have shown it to you, lower its air and loose this one as well, so that the air will going to come out and coolant will going to enter the cooling system. So you can see the reservoir is totally empty, so we are going to fill it once again. So you can see I have just removed this cap. So this is the cap which I have removed. When I just open the cap of the coolant reservoir, the coolant will start coming. So that's the way you have to take out the air trapped in the cooling system. So you can see when I open this, so you can see the coolant started coming. So now I have to close this one, so there is no air inside the cooling system now. So I will going to install the cap back. So cap is installed, so I will going to use the plier to just tighten it a little bit more. So the same way we just open this valve, we have to open the another valve, this one. So I will going to release this valve as well. So you can see it started coming, so let it come out. Now I don't see any bubble, so there is no air trapped inside it. So you can see there is no air. So now close this one. This will be hand tightened. So using these two valves you can just take out all the trapped air inside the cooling system. So you can see the level of the coolant goes down. So again I am going to refill it, and after that start the engine. So I have started the engine after refilling the coolant. So it's refilled to the max level, and let the engine remain its operational temperature. So if you see, the current temperature is around 28 degree. So let it reach to 80 to 90 degree, and it will take some time. So let it reach its operational temperature, and maybe in between you have to fill the coolant, so make sure just keep an eye on the coolant. So friends, like after a small ride of almost 10 kilometers, I have to just top up a little bit of coolant in the reservoir, and we are almost done. Also check the temperature of the coolant is constantly on the 80 degrees Celsius, so everything in the cooling system is flushed, everything is fine. Make sure there is no coolant is like leaking from those valves which I have shown it to you, the caps, this one which is one here and the other one which is on the back side. So in the end we have to check in the bottom the clamp which we have opened, so that we need to verify there is no coolant leaking out from that area as well. So like you can see, this is the clamp which we removed, so we don't see any coolant, so that's good. So now let's install back the protection plate. Engine protection plate is also installed, so it's a very simple process what you have to follow. So we are done with the coolant flush in the diesel engine in Renault Duster. So if you like the video, give thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Take care, bye bye.